Hello everyone, and welcome aboard. Today, we're taking off into the world of Disney's Planes, a heartwarming tale of courage, dreams, and pure aviation magic. I'm Comedy Family, and over the next 2 to 4 minutes, we're diving into why this film is not just a family adventure, but also a soaring inspiration for dreamers of all ages. Released in 2013, Planes introduces us to Dusty Crofhopper, an everyday crop duster with a not-so-average dream to race with the best in the world. The film stands out by blending exciting aerial action with moments of genuine emotion and humor. Despite being a spin-off in the Cars universe, it quickly establishes its own identity by focusing on aviation and the universal theme of following your dreams. Dusty Crofhopper, voiced by Dane Cook, is our relatable hero, a humble plane with a heart as big as the sky. His journey is all about overcoming obstacles, learning from setbacks, and always striving to do better. What makes Dusty so endearing is his determination and his willingness to embrace teamwork. Along the way, we meet incredible characters from Skipper, the wise mentor with a military background, to the diverse lineup of international racers who add a splash of cultural flavor and friendly rivalry. Each character, with their unique quirks and talents, reinforces the film's message of unity and perseverance. One of the standout features of Planes is its breathtaking animation. The film takes you on a global tour, showcasing picturesque skies, sweeping landscapes, and thrilling racing sequences. Every frame is meticulously crafted to capture the exhilaration of flight, from the adrenaline-pumping race scenes to quiet moments of reflection above the clouds. While Planes is filled with high-flying action, it never loses sight of its heart. The film's humor, whether it's a clever quip from Dusty or a comical mishap during training, provides a perfect balance to its more dramatic moments. It's this blend of humor and heart that makes the film so universally appealing. At its core, Planes is a celebration of the human, or rather, aviation spirit. It tells us that with hard work, a little bit of faith, and the support of good friends, even the most unlikely hero can soar to new heights. Fans of the Cars universe will appreciate the familiar Disney charm, yet Planes boldly carves out its own niche. The focus on aviation brings fresh excitement to the table, offering a different perspective and a new set of challenges for its characters. Let's talk about the production elements that truly elevate Planes. The musical score is both uplifting and adventurous, perfectly complementing the highs and lows of the storyline. The sound design, from the roaring engines to the gentle hum of a calm sky, immerses viewers into this high-flying world. Reflecting on Planes, I'm left with a sense of optimism and excitement. It's more than just a film about racing, it's a celebration of ambition and the joy of overcoming obstacles. Dusty's journey inspires us all to chase our dreams, no matter how challenging the path may seem. In conclusion, Disney's Planes is an uplifting adventure that not only entertains, but also inspires. It's a must-watch for families, dreamers, and anyone who believes that the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth reviews, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep your dreams flying high. See you another review video, Comedy Fam.
Hello everyone, and welcome aboard. Today, we're taking off into the world of Disney's new Snow White, a heartwarming tale of courage, dreams, and pure aviation magic. I'm Comedy Family, and over the next 2 to 5 minutes, we're diving into why this film is not just a family adventure but also a soaring inspiration for dreamers of all ages. Released in 2025, Snow White introduces Disney's 2025 live-action remake of Snow White, promised a fresh take on the beloved classic. However, upon its release, the film has been met with a storm of criticism and controversy. From casting choices to narrative alterations, Snow White has been at the center of heated debates. The casting of Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, as Snow White, sparked discussions about representation and fidelity to the original character. Additionally, Gal Gadot's portrayal of the evil queen drew attention due to her political stances, adding another layer of contention. While Zegler's performance has been described as a shining supernova by some critics, others argue that the film's attempt to modernize Snow White's character results in a departure from the innocence and charm that defined the original. The screenplay's endeavor to infuse newfound depth and a fervent desire for leadership into Snow White has been met with mixed reactions. One of the most significant changes is the depiction of the Seven Dwarfs. Utilizing CGI to create these characters, Disney aimed to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film. However, this approach has led to debates about representation and the effectiveness of the character's portrayal. The film introduces new musical numbers alongside reimagined classics. While some appreciate this blend, others feel that the additional songs contribute to a disjointed narrative, lacking the cohesion and memorability of the original soundtrack. Gal Gadot's portrayal of the evil queen has been a point of contention. While some critics praise her performance, others argue that it lacks the depth and menace required to make the character truly compelling. The reception has been predominantly negative. The Times labeled the film a new low for cultural desecration, accusing Disney of showing disgust for its source material. The Daily Wire highlighted the film's 46% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, indicating widespread critical disappointment. Furthermore, The Guardian described it as exhaustingly awful, criticizing its tiresome pseudo-progressive additions. Despite its ambitious vision, Snow White has underperformed at the box office, earning $43 million domestically and $87 million globally during its opening weekend, falling short of expectations. Analysts suggest that the film's mixed reviews and controversies have contributed to its lackluster performance. In the end, Disney's 2025 Snow White serves as a cautionary tale about the challenges of reimagining timeless stories. While aiming to modernize and diversify, the film struggles to capture the magic and coherence that made the original a cherished classic. If you want more of these, subscribe and like Comedy Fam for more content. See you soon in another review video.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another review video. Today, we're going to be reviewing Cars 2006, a lot of fun in one movie from Pixar. Released in 2006, Cars is one of Pixar's most polarizing films. Some fans absolutely adore it, others think it's a speed bump in Pixar's near-perfect track record. But nearly 2 decades later, how does it really hold up? Is Cars a misunderstood gem or just a shiny chassis with nothing under the hood? Let's start with the basics. Cars follows Lightning McQueen, a cocky rookie race car who ends up stranded in a forgotten desert town called Radiator Springs. Along the way, he learns that there's more to life than fame and speed. It's about friendships, slowing down, and appreciating the ride. Now, the world of Cars is, well, kind of bizarre. It's a world populated entirely by vehicles. No humans, no animals. Just cars with eyes in their windshields and mouths on their bumpers. And while that raises a lot of strange questions, the film commits to it fully, and that's part of the charm. Pixar has always been great at creating memorable characters, and Cars is no exception. Like his rival Chick Hicks, who wants him to lose to the races. Like bro come on now trying to cheat and make you win, come on chick that's a big L for my bull. And these guys making lightning get stranded in the middle of the highway like come on now. So Cars is not just an ordinary film, it's film filled with a story and joke. When I was a kid I loved this movie. As a child it was so much fun to watch. But almost at 20 years old it's just shocking how this film came out such a long time ago. Also this film is one of my favorites, like Planes 2013. It just felt like so good to watch it all the time, and it's such overrated film in my opinion. Alone it is just that good in my opinion. Here's where Cars really shines its themes. The idea of slowing down and appreciating small-town values over flashy fame is powerful. It speaks to audiences of all ages. Like the legend Doc Hudson in this movie really made it feel like an overrated film for me for sure. Visually, Cars was stunning in 2006 and it still looks great today. The textures, the lighting, the way the desert looks at sunset, Pixar pushed the limits here. Now, Cars isn't without its flaws. The pacing in the middle can feel slow, especially for younger viewers. Some jokes don't land. And yes, some people just can't get past the Cars with personalities thing. But love it or hate it, Cars made a massive cultural impact. It spawned to sequels, a TV series, and billions in merchandise sales. For a generation of kids, Lightning McQueen is the Pixar character. Before we continue, consider hitting that subscribe button, it would be great, thank you. So, is Cars a good movie? Honestly, yes. Maybe not Pixar's best, but far from its worst. It has heart, charm, and a unique world that stuck with audiences for almost 20 years. Some people loved it, others weren't impressed. And even today, Cars remains one of Pixar's most debated movies. So, is it a misunderstood classic or just Pixar's first real misfire? Let's pop the hood and take a long drive through Cars. At first glance, Cars sounds like a pretty straightforward story. Lightning McQueen is a hotshot rookie race car who's so focused on winning, he forgets what really matters. He ends up in a quiet, forgotten desert town after an accident and is forced to slow down, reflect, and grow up. Yeah, it's a familiar arc. We've seen it before in movies like Doc Hollywood, which, by the way, Cars basically remakes for a younger audience. But where Cars stands out is in its world building. This is an alternate universe where cars are sentient, there are no humans, and somehow tractors move. It doesn't make sense, but Pixar doesn't care, and honestly, neither do kids. Radiator Springs, the town where Lightning ends up, is more than just a setting, it's a metaphor for a lost way of life. Once thriving thanks to Route 66, it was abandoned after a new interstate diverted traffic away. That's not just a plot point, that's real American history. Let's talk characters. Cars thrives because of its strong cast, even if not all of them are equally loved. At first, Lightning is almost unbearable, selfish, arrogant, all ego. But that's intentional. The joy of Cars comes from watching him change. He goes from I am speed to I am kind of a decent guy. And that arc is surprisingly heartfelt. Then there's Doc Hudson, voiced by the legendary Paul Newman. He's the heart of the movie. A former racing legend with a painful past, Doc brings weight and wisdom. His story about being cast aside by the racing world gives Cars its emotional depth. And yeah, we can't ignore Mater, voiced by Larry the Cable Guy. Mater is a bit like Jar Jar Binks. People either find him hilarious or insufferable. But at least here, he's used in moderation and brings some balance to Lightning's seriousness. Characters like Sally, Fillmore, Luigi, and Ramon add charm. Each one represents a different piece of Americana, from 60s hippie culture to Italian car enthusiasm. They make Radiator Springs feel real and lived in. Here's where Cars absolutely nails the visuals. Pixar went all out to capture the spirit of the American Southwest. The rocks in Ornament Valley are shaped like tail fins and hood ornaments. The lighting during sunset is stunning. And that night scene when the town lights up with neon, it's pure visual poetry. This film is a technical achievement. Every reflection on lightning's paint, every patch of cracked pavement, it's detailed, textured, and immersive. Pixar reportedly sent the team on road trips down Route 66 just to capture that authentic small-town vibe. Under the hood, Cars is about more than just racing. It's about humility, about slowing down, about remembering your roots. Lightning starts off obsessed with being the best, but realizes that relationships and legacy matter more than a piston cup. The movie also critiques how progress often leaves people behind. The rise of highways crush towns like Radiator Springs, places with real character. That hits harder when you realize Cars is Pixar's love letter to those forgotten places. But we've gotta address the elephant, or rather, the hummer in the room. Cars isn't perfect. For one, the pacing can drag, especially in the middle act. There are long stretches where not much happens, and that can lose younger viewers. Some jokes don't land, and the logic of the Cars universe is confusing if you think too hard about it. Critics also argued that Cars felt more like a branding move than a passion project, and yet it made over $10 billion in merchandise. Lightning McQueen was everywhere. Lunchboxes, pajamas, toothbrushes, you name it. But here's the thing. Just because something is marketable doesn't mean it's bad. Pixar didn't just cash in, they still told a real story with real emotion. So, is Cars a good movie? Honestly, yeah. Maybe not top-tier Pixar like Up or Inside Out, but it's far better than people give it credit for. It's thoughtful, beautiful, and surprisingly emotional. And for an entire generation of kids, it was their Pixar moment. If you revisit it now, you might be surprised by how much heart it really has. Like other Cars films, like Cars 2, which we're not going over today because it's for another video for another day, or Cars 3 even. Today, Cars is more appreciated than it was at release. It may not be Pixar's deepest film, but it's certainly not their weakest. It carved out its own legacy literally with its own section at Disney's California Adventure. For many, this movie was their first introduction to Pixar. It taught them lessons about pride, change, and community through talking cars. And that's something only Pixar could pull off. Still, Cars didn't raise to universal acclaim. Some critics called it too slow, too safe, and more commercial than artistic. And let's be honest, Disney milked this movie. Cars became a merchandising empire, reportedly earning over $10 billion in product sales. You couldn't walk into a store without seeing Lightning McQueen's face on everything from cereal to shoes. Then Cars 2 came out. We're not talking about that, and shifted gears hard into spy comedy. A lot of older fans fell off, but Cars 3 quietly brought the franchise back to its emotional roots. And yes, for another review we will talk about Cars 3 and exploring aging, mentorship, and legacy. So, is Cars a good movie? Yeah, it's not just good, it's meaningful. It's visually gorgeous, emotionally grounded, and maybe even a little underappreciated. But that's just my take. What do you think? Does Cars deserve more love, or did it peak in the toy aisle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride, and subscribe for more deep dives into animation classics. I've got more Pixar and DreamWorks reviews coming soon. Comedy fan. Hey comedy fan, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're reviewing the long-awaited, blocky, surprisingly entertaining Minecraft movie. Yeah, it's real, and yeah, it's actually pretty good. Let's dive in. Let's be honest, when I first heard about a Minecraft movie, I didn't expect much. I mean, how do you turn an open-world sandbox game into a compelling story? But somehow, they pulled it off. The movie manages to capture the charm, adventure, and creativity of the game without feeling forced or cringy. Okay, no spoilers here, but the story centers around a young girl named Ellie and her small village that's suddenly threatened by an ender dragon attack. Classic setup, the villagers are scattered, and Ellie takes on the responsibility to reunite them and find a way to fight back. The plot is simple, yes, but it's surprisingly effective. It's got just enough conflict to keep you engaged, with a few twists that hit harder than you'd expect from a movie made out of cubes. Characters were honestly a highlight. Ellie, the main protagonist, is brave but relatable. She messes up, learns, grows, The side characters each have quirks that reflect the weird NPC charm of the game. There's even a grumpy old miner who steals every scene he's in. The voice acting is solid too. It doesn't feel like a cash grab. They got actual actors who care, and the delivery fits the tone. Playful, but never mocking the source material. Let's talk visuals. The animation is beautiful in its own way. They stuck with the classic Minecraft blocky aesthetic, but it's polished and dynamic. Lighting, shadows, and camera angles add a cinematic quality that still feels true to the original game. And there are so many Easter eggs, from redstone contraptions to obscure mobs. You can tell the creators genuinely love Minecraft. What really impressed me is how accessible this movie is. It's obviously made for kids and fans, but it doesn't talk down to the audience. The themes, teamwork, perseverance, and creativity are universal, and the humor, it works. There are gags for younger viewers, but also clever jokes older fans will appreciate. Is it perfect? No. Some pacing issues, a couple of cliché moments, but honestly, I didn't care. I had fun. It's a movie that knows what it is and embraces it completely. If you're a fan of Minecraft, you're going to enjoy it. If you've never played the game, it might still win you over with its charm. It's not just a video game movie, it's a Minecraft story brought to life. Final score. I'm giving the Minecraft movie a solid 8 out of 10. Fun, creative, and true to its roots. It's not just good for a video game movie, it's good. Period. Let's be real, when I first heard they were making a Minecraft movie, I was skeptical. I mean, Minecraft is all about freedom, creativity, and open world exploration. There's no story mode in the base game, so how do you take that and turn it into a feature film without it feeling like a cash grab? The story follows a young girl named Ellie, who lives in a peaceful village built on teamwork and trust. But that peace is shattered when an Ender Dragon, yes, the Ender Dragon returns, threatening to destroy everything. Ellie sets out on a journey to save her world, facing challenges, forming unlikely alliances, and uncovering secrets about her past and the world around her. The characters are really well done. Ellie is brave but not perfect. She makes mistakes, learns from them, and grows stronger. She's a great protagonist, and the supporting cast, super fun. There's a clever redstone engineer, a reluctant warrior who just wants to farm in peace, and yes, even a creeper sidekick who weirdly steals every scene they're in. It's goofy, but it works. And let's not forget the voice acting. It's solid all around. The actors manage to bring emotion and personality to characters that are literally made of blocks. That's not easy. Now, is this movie for everyone? Probably not. If you hate Minecraft, or you're looking for a deep, complex fantasy epic, this might not be your thing. But for Minecraft fans, kids, families, and even adults who've sunk hours into the game, it hits the right notes. Is it groundbreaking cinema? No, but it doesn't need to be. It knows what it is and it nails it. My final score. I'm giving the Minecraft movie a strong 80 out of 100. It's fun, it's funny, it's surprisingly touching, and best of all, it feels like Minecraft. My only concern about the film is the CGI looks like artificial intelligence, and that in some frames it looks very weird. Also, the last thing is, why did they have to make it look like real life? I would have liked it more if it was not live action, more like animated like Minecraft really is. But overall it's pretty good for a movie, and for a lot of people who are young and old, pretty much for everyone of all ages. If you're a fan, definitely check it out. And if you've seen it already, let me know your favorite moment down in the comments. Thanks for watching, stay creative, and I'll catch you in the next one. Comedy fan.